Okay, so here's where we're at. We've had to pull the clutch lever out to take a pin out of it to put in the new rod. So I've had to remove the booster. The master cylinder is just kind of hanging here. That way I don't have to unhook it, but everything else is took out. Now I've had to drop the column a little bit. I'm gonna have to take out some more stuff inside before I can get to the clutch lever. There's the peg that sticks out on the clutch. God, what I gotta do is grind the top of that off and beat that out of there. And I cannot do that with it under the dash. So I'm taking all the pedals out so that I can get to that. So this has been my office for hours. Taking all this stuff apart. Yep, that's a mess. Okay, here's the column with the modifications. Actually, you can see them really well there now for the front suspension. Mess I go. Okay, like I said before, we took this whole clutch pedal out just to get to this little pin. This little pin that we got to cut off so that we can drill a hole, or actually we should be able to reuse the hole that's knocked out. I already grinded the back of it off where it went through and it was just swedged. So now all I got to do is drive it out of there. And it's like 5 minutes of work for 6 hours of work. There it is. The pin's knocked out. And this is the hole I'll need for my new linkage. Okay, now we just got to get the new speedometer cable hooked back up to the speedometer, which I hope I can get on video, maybe. So I'll get that hooked up. Yeah, we can see it. And then we got to put the pedals back in. So you don't have to take out these pedals to change your speedometer cable, but it sure made it easier after all the horrible time of taking out the pedals. Moves very easy. Okay, check out what I found. I got 2 different gauge brackets. These are just universal gauge brackets, but I actually found one that was made in Taiwan. That was an old gauge set that I had, and I have a new one that's made in China. I hope you can see that. Made in China. Unbelievably, the Chinese holder is thicker and stronger. You can see the Taiwan holder bracket bent really easy, and the Chinese one, I mean, it feels better, surprisingly. I don't know, thought it was cool. Okay, ran into a problem. The starter that worked fine with the bigger bell housing of the Asian transmission now doesn't work because I've went to a smaller bell housing and a smaller flywheel. So what used to work perfect with clocking the relay over, now it hits the engine and won't let the bolt holes line up. So I'm gonna have to go to another plan. Looks like plan B is going back to the Dakota and Ram miniature starter. That's what I ran before I put the Doug's headers on it, and looks like I rebuilt the contacts on this one, and it hasn't been used since. Actually, I think originally I thought I was going to get to use this with these headers and it wouldn't work. Looks like it's going to be tight, but this original Dodge Ram starter is probably going to work. It's looking like everything's fitting in there. And don't mind the missing dust shield. I forgot to order that, so it's on the way. May have to throw the starter on it first just to get this thing moved around, and then take it back off and put that dust cover on.